Come on, bring this up.
Yeah, this is not working for me.
Oh, sorry. Okay, what is going on here?
I don't know.
There, now we're recording.
Now we're recording and we're live.
And there's volume here. So we are good to go this time.
Wow. Good thing
So
no one's
good.
here
I'm gonna
watching us.
charge this up.
We're really prepared tonight.
Yes. Welcome back to the show, everybody. It is New Year's Eve. And, well, but I'm going to try and cut this late tonight and put it out tomorrow morning. So if you're listening to this on podcast, it is New Year's. Happy 2020. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah. I don't know. You're looking at me expectantly like I'm supposed to say something.
Well,
I was more just like, you're going to stay up really late and cut the podcast tonight?
Well, it depends on how late we talk.
Good for you.
But yes, we are here.
I'm really glad your video is really not high quality.
Picking baby snot off my shoulder.
Yeah, I am.
All right. So today's show is going to be a little bit different.
Yeah.
We are not going to be doing our normal routine, our normal exciting segment, sound effects and all that kind of stuff. We're kind of just going to be doing what would you say?
We're calling it a review show.
Yeah. We are going to be reviewing The Rise of Skywalker.
Woo!
We are going to be reviewing The Mandalorian. We are going to be reviewing our Christmas trip to Texas.
Yeah.
And we're going to be reviewing our life.
Like our year with each other.
Yeah, we kind of did this last episode where we went over all the big things.
But we're going to have a fun segment at the end.
Yes.
Where we ask some questions of each other.
Yeah, we're going to kind of look back on 2019. And then for the video exclusive people, we're going to be taking a sneak peek into 2020. So hopefully you check out the video for that.
Yeah. As a high school teacher, can I just say I'm really looking forward to the entire month of April in 2020.
Why is that? What happens in April?
Well, April is the 4th month. So imagine writing the date on the board in numerics.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be 420 all year next year.
All month.
That is rough.
It is rough. And it's just one of those things that just keeps hitting me. And I just keep going like, oh, this year. I'll get through it. I will survive.
You will survive. Okay. All right. So let's start off with what is probably most pressing on our minds, which is our most recent trip for the holidays down to Texas. Now, we've kind of given you guys some previews of this in the last few shows.
What we were going to do.
Right. We drove. We have 4 children, in case you forgot.
We drove 17 hours.
Yes. The first...
Not in one go.
The trip down, we spread it over 3 days. Mm-hmm. The trip back, we spread it over 2 days.
Yes.
And it was an adventure. I know. We were singing the Dr. Seuss thing earlier.
But you know what? It kind of felt like we were in the thingamajigger sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, like things were just happening that I was like, where is this coming from? No, I don't want a shoe up here with me.
Yeah, it was quite a ride. I would say that the drive down really wasn't that bad.
No, it was pretty peaceful. I mean, I think it's very normal as parents that we block out in our memories some of the screaming and the crying and the fussing over things because we wouldn't love our children then.
I was just gonna say, I think that we would just abandon our children
if
that's all we could remember.
Worth it. But we tend to we have other really beautiful moments where we're like, you know what, that was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah. No, we bought a van last year and thankfully...
A minivan, not a full size, minivan. Because you made me a minivan mom.
I did. But now I just drive it all the time. So
yes.
But one of the things we were really worried about when we bought the van was that it had a DVD player in it. And we didn't want to become those people that just like put on a movie to drive across town.
Right.
Or go to the store.
That was something I very distinctly remember noting about some of the parents at our last daycare.
Yeah.
Was that like we'd drive up behind them and I'd be like, I'm pretty sure they live just across town and they have the DVD player going.
Right.
Like your kid can't take a less than 5-minute ride without having a show going. That's really sad.
Right.
So
yeah, so that was
Yeah.
what we wanted to avoid. But I have to say, I am thankful that especially on this long trip that we had it available and that we used it.
yes.
We did not have the movies going constantly.
No.
We definitely tried to give the kids other things to do
Right.
and try and do as few movies, as little screen time as possible in
Yeah.
the car.
Yeah, which it was really cute because by the end they were asking like the question was like, after lunch, is that a good movie time? Like
Yeah, they
like-
knew it was
like
not
knowing-
just a standard thing.
yeah, knowing that they can't just be like, Mom, Dad, throw in a movie. It was like, is this a good time to watch a movie?
Right.
Like, it was very cute.
Yeah. So it was nice to have that along because it,
was.
did help
It
to
provided some peaceful relief
Yes.
sometimes.
yeah, and it
Yeah.
helped some kids take naps when they really needed it. So yeah, it was the drive down. I don't think was too bad. I don't remember any major scenes or incidents, but it was definitely
Yeah.
a long ride. The
That-
kids definitely got tired of being in the car that long.
Yes. Yeah. I feel like all I would have to say to bring back some bad memories is Oklahoma City.
Oh yes.
And then you'll be like, oh yeah, the drive down had its low points. But it's okay.
Yeah.
Like we're already giggling about it.
Right.
It's okay.
Yeah. Don't give your kids crayons in the back seat.
Unless you've already had the discussion about what you can use the crayons on.
I mean, we have a discussion weekly, so you would think they would know not to.
by now.
Don't color on the windows. Don't color on the walls.
Don't color on the
seats.
upholstery. Yeah.
But
just,
it
you
still
know,
happened.
Yeah.
But
All right.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Austin trip review.
Yeah.
What was the best moment of the Austin trip for you?
Best moment of the trip. We went to this really cool park called Fortlandia. It's at the Lady Bird Johnson
Arboretum.
Arboretum. That's
There you
it. And they have this special section marked out for it's called Fortlandia. It's like for kids. It's got a bunch of different structures that they can go into and play
Right.
on and climb on.
You didn't say forts.
I wouldn't really call them forts. Some of them were 40
some-
and some of them were not.
Okay, when did they tell you their age? But
Get out of here.
yeah, that was I loved your how did you say it today when we were discussing Fortlandia?
Like when you think of forts,
you had a specific phrase where you were like it was not as it was billed.
yes, it was not as billed. It was billed as this is a land full of forts and you can play in them and climb on them.
right,
it's
and like they're different themes. or
okay,
they're-
when you think of a fort, what do you think of? I come from a town called
Like a-
Fort Dodge. There's
Yeah,
a
like-
literal like fort with a fence and like an opera house and
right, the opera house where we had our reception.
Yeah.
It was great.
So I'm imagining like not a castle,
like mini, but
but
like
like
mini
a fortified, which
Right,
is where the
with,
word
like-
fort comes from.
with like walls up around.
Yes, a
and, like-
structure.
yeah, but like something you go into and maybe climb up some stairs and
Right.
like there's a parapet.
Right.
That's what it's called. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and that's not quite what it was,
Right.
but it was still really cool.
It was. It was
It was
very
just
cool.
we walked up to the first
Fort.
fort and we were I think you and I both were just sort of like, huh.
So there's
okay.
statues covered in carpet, and you can climb on
you
them.
can climb on
I
them.
guess it's a fort.
Right. And it was one of those things where like in my mind I'm going, okay, if you're a child
Right.
and like your imagination is running, yeah, this is a fort. This could be really cool. I might drape like a giant blanket over
Right,
them
yeah.
and then that would be my fort. But like for a kid, I was like, yeah, it conjures up the imagination.
Yeah.
It gets you moving. It was really funny to watch like grown people attempting to climb some of these things.
That was gonna be my favorite thing about the.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, so we went through this whole fort area,
Mhm.
and at the very end, Danny wanted to do the first fort again, which was the carpet-covered statues,
Right. Which were cool.
which were cool.
But again, when you're told forts and that's the first thing, you're sort of like,
Not a fort.
right, yeah,
It's not a
And
fort.
it's not one of those things where I was like mad. I was just sort of like, huh. Okay.
I had a
Yeah,
paradigm shift.
I'll get into this. Yeah.
Yeah. So they wanted to do the first fort again.
Mhm.
And I thought it would be a good opportunity to take some pictures. And so I threw all the kids up like 7 feet in the air up on top of this fort. And they're all sitting up there cheesing. And people are taking pictures. And so I ran around the back and I like jumped up on top, but I missed and I like fell backwards.
I witnessed it, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not fall on the ground,
No,
thankfully.
you didn't. You kind of just fell sideways and you were like, oh, it didn't work.
But it was a really fun
Yeah.
time. I think the kids had a blast, and it was just all around a really fun day.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
What was your highlight?
My highlight? I'm like, oof.
We did a lot of stuff.
We did a lot,
while we were
and I
down
feel
there.
like I'm forgetting something.
Yeah, I mean, and of course it was Christmas as well, so we were doing Christmas things.
Right.
We did this whole big light show
Yeah.
that we went to.
Yeah.
We did the
There's-
forts. We did
Yeah.
all sorts of stuff.
So my moment's like really simple.
That's good. No, I like that.
And for me, I mean, obviously, we were down there visiting part of my family, and there was a moment. So we have 4 kids, and then my sister has 1 son currently, and they don't get to see each other very often. And so
Right.
them playing together was really fun, really cool. But there was one moment where like I instructed our son and our nephew to kick a soccer ball back and forth. Like, and they just like, they're at an age where that's not normal for them yet.
Right.
Like you think like adults are like, well, yeah, what else do you do with a soccer ball? But it was getting them to line up across from each other. And they did it like 5 times and they were like having a good time with each other. And I
Right.
was like, oh my gosh, look at this moment we're having. And I feel like most people are like, really? That like you took a whole trip down to Austin, Texas, and that moment but it was really precious.
Yeah.
And to see them, I don't know, it was like I kind of had a glimpse into 10 years from now, like the 2 dudes hanging out,
Right.
just, maybe playing video games or I don't know,
Throwing the ball in the
Throwing the
backyard or
ball.
whatever. Yeah.
tackle football, something.
Yeah.
It's got to be tackle because the 2 of them have so much energy
Right.
that they've got to get it out somehow. But yeah, that was a really beautiful moment. But places we went in Austin that I thought were really great was Fortlandia was awesome.
Mhm.
We went to the Trail of Lights in Zilker Park.
Yeah. It was a little overwhelming.
It was overwhelming.
Again, not as billed.
Not what we thought.
So in Iowa, there's this thing called what is it called? The Festival of Lights or something like that.
There's something like and actually several different towns do a sort of Festival of Lights kind of thing.
And it's like a drive-through where you drive your car and you
Right.
like see all the like
And-
big light displays.
Right. And what I'll point out is like that's the difference between the upper Midwest
Where it's
it's cold. Like you're not going to go
walk
walk
around.
around and see lights. You're going to drive because it is cold.
Right.
And in Austin at Zilker Park, the lights show is a trail that you follow
On foot.
on foot. And we happened to go on the, I think,
It's like
second to last or
it
last
was like
night.
right towards the end.
Yeah, of the show of the lights, Trail of Lights,
Right.
and just a lot of people.
Yeah, it
And
was
I'm
packed.
realizing more and more that I don't like crowds.
Yeah.
I mean, I can deal. I can be fine with crowds.
Yeah.
But when I'm not expecting it, I kind of go into like a no, stay away from me.
Yeah.
But again, so cool. And honestly, the part of that I loved the most was the big tree at the beginning.
Yeah.
And like we all stood under this giant tree made of lights and we would all spin and get really dizzy. And it was just a great, beautiful moment. And the rest of it was also very beautiful, but there was just a lot of people. So again, if you're in Austin around Christmas time, Zilker Park, Trail of Lights was really cool. Where else did we go? What else did we do?
Let's see. We got around to a few different parks.
There's so many parks in Austin. If you have kids, just stop at these beautiful parks and let them play because they're just great.
Yeah.
We did Amy's ice cream.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
So good. That ice cream was really good. I don't know what kind you had.
I had strawberry with bananas mixed in.
Oh yeah, how was that?
It was very good.
I
like strawberry ice cream. I like banana ice cream better, but strawberry banana ice cream
was pretty good.
good.
I got coffee ice cream with Oreo chunks in it. So I
Yes.
almost replicated my favorite ice cream of all time, and it was so good. Actually, their coffee ice cream was really, really yummy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just sometimes coffee can get a bitter flavor, you know, and you
Right.
worry about ice cream being bitter.
Yeah.
It was not. It was yum. So
Yeah. Another
that.
fun small moment.
mhm.
When we went to our actual Christmas celebration, we went out to a house and the kids found this like Nerf gun out in the backyard.
Yes.
And it was one of these, it was like a 6-shooter and it shot these like
Little Nerf foam balls.
like foam balls. Yeah. And so after I pegged the kids with it a few times, they got kind of tired of it. So, but I still wanted to like mess with it.
Yeah.
And so I told them that I would do fireworks for them. And so I just like aimed it straight up in the air and they sat on these lawn chairs and I just like pumped it into the air and I still tried to hit them. But they liked it because it was like it would go up and then it would come down and
where would it land?
Yeah, and it was
fun.
it was really fun and it was and they were like, do more fireworks, do more, it was just really
cool.
really cute.
I was inside during that.
It's true. Yeah.
Shucks. That's
But
fun.
yeah, it was really fun. So
yeah. All right. Are you gonna ask a question now?
What?
Because that was my question. Was the best part of our trip?
Oh.
I feel like there's
what was the
obviously
worst part of the trip?
Worst part of the trip. Like, I think for me it wasn't any one singular moment, but just like any time one of our kids got to see with me.
Yeah.
And it's just because they're at a point in their lives where like they just get mad and so they take it out on me in certain ways. And so like there were things like, you're the worst, mom. And I was like, oh fine.
You are 5 years old.
Right,
you need to
like,
cool it for about 10 years.
You don't love me anymore. And I'm like, whoa, excuse you. Like you're still in the vehicle. So apparently I still love you a little bit. Just and it's just we were cooped up in a vehicle, all 6 of us, for a long time.
Yeah.
And
we have 4 kids. So anywhere we go it's a
production.
And it's
a fiasco.
It gets cramped, regardless of if we're in like a wide open field or in a house. Like there are just a lot of us.
Yeah. And we're always with each other.
Right.
I hope it's okay with you because I tend to like being with you. So I tend to never
I like being with you.
I never leave you.
Yeah. I would just like to not be with the kids.
Right.
All
like
the time.
sometimes I am just sort of like, do you see me having a moment? So, and that was in the van. There's just no way of being like, I'm having a moment.
Right.
Go away.
Yeah.
And of course,
we need the limo.
We need a limo. Mom and dad having a moment. Yeah. And of course, I think that was for me exacerbated.
Good word.
Here we go. By the fact that toward the end of the trip, we all kind of started getting sick.
Right.
And so like one night Jetta just didn't sleep.
Yeah.
She was just like, nope, mom, not going to sleep. And so I literally was walking around a hotel lobby for 2 hours while she decided to not sleep. So the next day I had a very real discussion of like, mommy's tired. Don't push it. I love you all, but don't push it today. So
yeah. No, the worst
moment for you
for me was on our last day driving home. We stopped at a rest stop because people had to go to the bathroom, and it stank in the back seat. And what had been really amazing is that all day Saturday, Rory was in the same diaper. He held his pee in the whole trip in the car, no issues. I was so impressed.
He didn't change his diaper once.
No, and
because he didn't need to.
Right.
Because every time we stopped, he peed in the potty.
Yes.
Big boy
so
Rory
impressed.
sits on the potty.
and he peed. He did not poop.
No.
He pee. But on Sunday, obviously he could no longer hold it.
Yeah.
And he had a big old accident. It came out of the back of his pants, got all over his shirt, the car seat, his jacket, his pants, everything. Just terrible.
Yeah.
And so I took him into the rest stop, into the bathroom to try and change him. And we thought we had some clothes in the diaper bag for him. We had a t-shirt.
We had a t-shirt.
And some pants that are 12 months.
Those are actually probably in there for Jetta.
Jetta,
Oh,
yes.
He came out and I looked at them. I was like, I think these are kind of too small, but I didn't comment on it. I was like, nope, that's good.
Yeah.
We got stuff in there.
But it was a stinky, nasty
It was
mess.
gross. And it was funny because we knew something was up
Yeah.
because our oldest kept asking us. So she was sitting in the middle and we're at the front, obviously, and Rory's at the back. And she kept asking us what that smell was. And we couldn't smell it.
Oh man.
So we had a warning. We just didn't heed the warning.
Yeah, it was
So,
rough. But
yeah. Can I add to that?
yeah, please.
I think this might have actually been my worst moment.
When the snow started.
Oh my gosh, it was awful. You were surprised I didn't say that. Guess what? I had forgotten about it. I would never get back. I would never get back in a vehicle if I always clearly remembered these moments.
It's true.
So we stopped at a Dairy Queen in Ardmore. No, way farther north.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I don't know either. Somewhere in Kansas.
Somewhere in very north Kansas. And either very north Kansas very north Kansas.
Yeah.
We weren't in Nebraska yet. And I was sitting there and I was just looking out at the sky and I just started getting physically shaky and panicky and I just got butterflies. Yeah, I was freaking out. I was basically just like, Gavin is coming. Gavin, I don't want to do it. Gavin, I'm feeling really awful. I don't want to get in the car. Like we can't, like either we got to go fast now or we got to just stay.
Yeah.
And, everyone was sort of like, you're fine. Nothing's going to happen. It's all going to be fine.
Hadn't even snowed yet.
And by the time we hit Nebraska
City, I think.
No, it was already snowing before Nebraska City because we got gas in Nebraska City and then we went around and it stopped snowing. So it started snowing somewhere in southern Nebraska.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, hey, it's not bad. We're doing okay. It's fine. Ooh, whatever. Like I've got my main driver here who can do it. And by the time we hit Nebraska City, I am like gripping the car door and like doing like yoga breathing. Yeah. By the time we hit Omaha, I'm like in deep conversation with God about life and please get us home and please protect my parents who are convoying behind us.
Right.
And like I hate snow. And I just feel like every time I take a trip in winter, there must be bad weather at some point.
Right.
And usually it's at the point where I can't turn around.
Yeah.
Because that's where we were. We were at this point in the trip where it was like, no, you can't pull off and get a hotel for the night.
Right.
Because
We're
you were
practically
like
home.
You're 40 miles from home. You can't.
Yeah.
And I almost lost it.
It was rough.
Almost
I mean,
lost it.
the roads started getting slick. There were starting to be accidents and stuff. Not like bad slick, like normal slick.
You told me it was fine.
It was
you
fine.
Said there was like it was not a big deal. It was barely anything, and like you were driving like
there were
just
like
it's
5
fine.
accidents. I mean, obviously there was
because
some.
I told myself that those were just stupid people who were driving too fast.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, but
We
like as in
slid
driving
one time,
like
on
we
a bridge,
slid
on that bridge.
No, I did not feel that.
Yes, you did. Because you're
Did
like,
I?
what was that?
Didn't you just tell me it was like a bump in the road?
It was the bridge.
That's what you said. You said it's the bridge.
Yes.
I thought you meant like the bridge pulled you a little bit.
Yeah,
not like
it
was
did.
slick.
That's what
No,
happened.
that's not what I mean. You know what I mean. How dare you lie to me? I can never trust you again. Lies.
But we made it. It was not that
You
bad.
did. It was.
I mean,
bad.
it was bad for this time of year.
Oh my gosh. February is still coming.
No, because that's a
dude.
different part of the year and the weather is totally different then. It's not the same. It's not this wet, gross stuff like it was that night.
Okay. Anyways, that was probably, as you can tell, it was probably actually my worst part of the trip.
Yeah.
And it was the very last, like, had nothing to do with the actual trip. It was just driving home.
True.
Okay.
But we made it home. Everybody got in their own beds. It was a good trip.
Nice. It was nice. Yeah, it was a good trip. It was really nice. It was
Yeah.
nice to see family. It was nice to have Christmas with people that we love, people who are so generous to us and just
Yeah.
amazingly loving. And
Yeah,
we love them all so very much.
We do. It was amazing. Probably not something we're going to be doing again in the near future, but definitely in the little further on future.
Yeah, yeah. Just in
Just
large
the
part,
age of the
just because
kids.
the age of the kids.
That's
It's
it.
just very difficult to. It's just very difficult to take them anywhere.
Yeah. All right. Time to switch up topics.
Yeah, I
You
think so.
ready?
Like
It's
that
only
was
been like a half
I thought
hour.
a half hour just on our trip with
All
two
right.
questions.
So we are going to jump in here to our Rise of Skywalker review. We got to see it opening night.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
Couldn't not. So we are not going to be, what are you doing?
I'm moving the camera just slightly because
Just
was-
slightly.
it was more me than you, and there's
Okay.
a light
That's true.
that's not quite dim enough.
All right. So if you don't know, Emily and I are huge, huge, huge Star Wars fans. Like one of our children is named Jeddah from the Star Wars.
From Star Wars.
So
yeah.
We love Star Wars. We always go opening night. This review is going to have lots of spoilers. So we just can't hold back. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Mm.
But if you haven't seen it by now, what's wrong with you?
Right. Like, I'm sorry. You've had almost 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It'll be 2 weeks and
On
2
Thursday,
days.
yeah.
Yeah. And so if you haven't seen it, I question if you're a true fan. If you are a true fan, you've had things that are delaying you from seeing it, and you probably shouldn't be watching this then.
Right.
So let's spoil away.
Yeah. Let's talk some Star Wars.
Yeah.
All right. So should we do overall and then nitpick a little?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Overall, what did you think?
What am I like giving it a ranking out of 10 or what?
Sure. Or just your general
Oh,
feelings.
just my general. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
There were definitely some moments where I was like, I didn't need that,
Mhm.
but my overall general feeling towards it was very positive. And I walked out smiling.
Yeah.
Like, yes, that was acceptable. That was a good way to end this piece of the saga.
Yeah.
And I still wanted more.
Yeah, definitely.
There. Is that a good?
Yeah, it's a good general
okay,
overview.
Cool. Yeah.
So I also I was nervous going in. After The Last Jedi, I was really nervous about it.
Mhm.
And so I was prepared to be underwhelmed again,
Right. Yeah.
but coming out, I have to say I really, really liked it. Like I had a lot of fun. I thought there were some issues, like you said, things that I could have done without.
Yeah.
And maybe some does it totally make sense, plot wise?
Some plot holes. Yeah.
But being such a huge Star Wars nerd, and diving into like the mechanic-y, nitpicky stuff, that's gonna happen every time, no matter what.
Right.
But
yeah.
But yeah, I thought that overall it was really fun. There was a lot, it felt like Star Wars. It had a lot of great moments. It didn't have anything where I was like, what is this? Like in The Last Jedi when Leia flies through space. It's like Iron Man Leia.
Superwoman Leia is always going to be like bottom of my list.
Right. I was just, that felt super weird to me.
Yeah.
And this, I didn't have any of those moments where I was like, this doesn't make sense. Right.
No. Everything I could justify everything.
Right.
There were some things I didn't feel like justifying.
Sure.
Where I was like, come on. But I could justify it all.
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily have better ideas than what they did.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Whereas like Iron Man Leia, I did. Guess what?
She
should have died.
Weird.
Crazy.
Yeah. So one thing that this movie really made a point to do was to fix a lot of the things that fans
Yes.
really thought were broken about The Last Jedi.
Yes.
I mean, it makes a very clear point to say like, oh, this thing that happened, yeah, that's not
Yeah, it's
true.
not
Or that
happening.
didn't actually happen.
Yeah.
Or we're going to kind
Or-
of work around.
Or that was a lie.
Right.
And they told the lie intentionally to throw you off.
Yeah.
But here's the reality. And you're sort
Yes.
of like, nah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so I kind of appreciated that. I felt like there was a lot of time wasted on these kind of like little fixes.
But of course, when you take an entire movie wasting our time, you have to expect that you're going to waste a little time in the next one to clean it up.
Right.
And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, definitely. So
Not to be too harsh there.
Yeah. But just from the get-go, I'm going to kind of dive in a little bit.
Go for it.
I mean, the beginning of the movie is very fast-paced. You
Yes.
just boom, 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 one scene after another. The action gets, I mean, it throws you right in
Right.
to this. I mean, the opening crawl, I gotta admit, I did not
The
care
crawl,
for.
yeah.
I thought it was kind of weak.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was like I wanted more from it. You know,
Yeah.
like I needed more either information or the wording was
I think it was the wording.
chunky
Yeah.
in a way that I was like, this doesn't feel Star Wars yet.
Yeah. But as soon as we hit the action, which they open the same way they always did, which I love, the pan down to the ships.
Pan down to a ship.
I mean, that's always great. But it was immediately you were thrown into a, you know, Kylo Ren just taking names and kicking butts and you know,
Yes.
and immediately he's, you know, he's out there, he's fighting, and you know, it's just, it throws you right into the action.
You're literally thrown in.
And then you transition very quickly, you're following him along, and all of a sudden he's unfortunately it gets very exposition-y very fast.
Yes. Yeah.
Um
Like, here's what you need to know.
right.
Which the reason that's frustrating and the reason it happens is because most of the other Star Wars films, you
Mhm.
don't need that because you've already gotten it from the previous film.
Right.
In order to do cleanup on The Last Jedi, you had to have all this exposition of like, okay, so here's what happened in the meantime that we can't film because
Right.
we don't have time to remake The Last Jedi and do this film.
Yeah.
So here's what you didn't get in the opening crawl. Here's what we're going to tell you. Now we can move on.
Yeah.
It was very, those moments were frustrating.
Yeah. But in terms of like the overall story, I mean, if you haven't seen it yet or you haven't been spoiled, Palpatine's back. He's the big bad
Palpatine's
guy.
back.
And basically he's got this new fleet that he's going to give Kylo Ren as long as he can bring
Prove
Rey,
himself.
and,
Yes.
and bring Rey to him.
Yeah.
Is the idea.
Yeah.
And
Which it kind of alludes to this idea that Palpatine was never gone.
yeah,
He's always there.
yeah. I mean, you could tell he's definitely been through some stuff. I mean, he's ragged.
Well,
he's
and he's
missing
like,
some fingers.
how many years old now? Like
119, I think.
Yeah, like
is what the math comes out
he's
to.
like Dumbledore old,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. But
But
he's definitely, I mean, he seems dead. He seems like a zombie.
yeah, like he's definitely being kept alive on machines, like
Right.
nothing else. I don't think they even need to feed him.
Probably not. It's just the Force.
It's just the Force.
It's not how the
this
Force works.
That's not how any of this works. Anyways,
But yeah, so then basically the plot of the movie is, you know, Kylo Ren trying to track down Rey and bring her back to Palpatine.
yeah,
And I thought there was a lot of good stuff. I thought so. Rey and Kylo Ren have 3 or 4 fights, like duels, throughout the movie, which I thought all were really good. This time we
really
actually got
put together.
Yeah, we actually got a powerful Kylo Ren and a weaker Rey for once.
A few times,
Yeah, which I thought was really great.
Right. Well, and it, here's how I'm going to make that make sense in the ways of Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, how she's just like so good
Yeah.
so early, is that I think at this point now she's had so much time to think through the Force and how she's supposed to use it and the control she's supposed to have to be able to doubt herself. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Sometimes when you doubt yourself, your skill goes down.
Yeah. I can
You
see
know what I
that.
mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, I get it. Like she's at this point where she has to make decisions and like she understands it better. And so how should she be using it? And like as much as she's letting it flow through her, she's also attempting to control it more.
Yeah.
And it makes her slower and
Sure. It's kind of like faith. Like when you're a little
Sure,
kid,
yeah,
it's like
yeah, it's so easy to just be like, yeah.
Right. And then when you're older and you kind of start to understand it a little bit more,
Yeah,
then
and
you
you're
start to
like,
doubt more.
oh, yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
Ooh.
I like that.
Which, the Jedi Order is just a bunch of old mystics, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Where did that go?
Weird tangent.
I know.
Yeah, but so there were some cool fight scenes. There was some wasted or things that I thought were kind of unnecessary. New droid was pretty unnecessary.
Yeah.
Basically a lot of the new characters just were kind of meh.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. And well, at this point, introducing a new character, you kind of go, why?
Right.
Unless there's going to be some sort of spin-off, which I could see them doing.
Sure.
You just kind of go, why? What's the point? You're trying to wrap this story up, not give us more.
Yeah.
So that was a little frustrating at times.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Yeah. What was the other thing I was just thinking about? So what we first get when we transition away from Kylo and Palpatine to Rey is her training to be a Jedi, which finally, like, now she's gonna
Why
train.
have we neglected this?
Right?
Yeah.
But what's really cool is that you have Leia training her, which at first you're kind of like, oh, this is kind of random, like what's going on here?
Yeah.
But one of the coolest things I thought, one of the coolest scenes in the movie is you actually get this kind of flashback. And we've seen Star Wars do this with CGIing characters to be young again, or to be alive again, like in the case of Tarkin in Rogue One.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, which was really well done.
Yeah.
Bravo to those
artists.
I wanted to be like scientists. You're like, that's how well done it was. Like, you must have brought him back.
Yeah.
You must have reanimated him.
But we get this really cool flashback scene in the movie of Luke training Leia to be a Jedi. And you get her lightsaber and it's just this really cool moment. And it helps one to fix The Last Jedi where Leia can use the Force to fly through in the vacuum of space. Yeah. But it also is like a big shout out to people who were fans of the expanded universe before Disney, because Leia, it's basically the same story as Leia was trained as a Jedi, but then gave it up in the EU because she thought that the politicians wouldn't trust her if she aligned herself with the Jedi. And here it's because she doesn't want to, basically affect Ben's future, or she's worried about Ben's future. It's kind of complicated, but it's a nice touch and shout out to older fans. Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah,
and Leia's lightsaber is sweet.
Yes, it is. Not as sweet as Rey's.
Oh, spoiler! This is the final scene. Spoiler.
Oh, so sorry. The Rey's lightsaber. I want one.
Yes, it is.
I want
amazing design, unique color. First time we've seen this color in a movie. And
just really sleek.
Yeah, really slick. Unfortunately, we only get a glimpse of it.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of a bummer.
Right. Which is another one of those moments of like, why you showed me this at the end?
Right. But yeah, there was just a lot of nice kind of fan servicey touches throughout the movie.
Yeah.
And they brought everybody back. I mean, even Harrison Ford is back in this movie, which was like I was shocked.
Right. It was kept so quiet. Maybe we just didn't read the right, thing.
I tried to stay away from spoilers and stuff.
Yes, so shocking and so good and so heartwarming. Like I'm gonna say I'm not a Kylo Ren fan or a
Sure.
Ben Solo fan. And in part because I just
You're like Adam Driver's face.
I don't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Adam Driver. I like you in other things. You just never struck me as being Leia and Han's son.
Sure. I think that's
He
fair.
just doesn't look it.
Yeah.
And yet in that moment, like I had like a like I felt for the family.
Yeah.
And so I think that says something about the acting as well.
Yeah.
Acting is very well done.
Yeah, I thought Adam Driver, apart from his face, apparently,
he's a great actor.
I thought
he is
the performance in this movie was fantastic from him.
If you're gonna cast people to be a family, they should probably look similar to each other.
That's fair.
Like I don't like. No, I'm just not gonna. No, I'm not gonna go there.
Yeah. So yeah, lots of returning characters. Lando is back. Loved Lando. I thought his scenes were pretty great.
Yeah.
Chewie obviously had a very minor role in this.
Yes and no. I mean, yeah.
One of the most emotional scenes of the movie is a Chewbacca scene.
Yes.
I mean, it
yes
literally will stab you in the heart.
Well, I don't know which one you're talking about now.
Well, we're spoiling it, so let's just spoil it.
Is it when you think
he's dead?
The ship
I forgot about that.
Oh, it was okay. Gosh. So it wasn't that moment.
No.
It was the moment when he finds out
that Leia is dead. His reaction, the actor who portrays Chewbacca in this movie, which is not the original actor from the original movie,
did such a good job because and this was a discussion we had as we were leaving. I said I didn't have an emotional reaction to Leia actually dying.
Right.
Like you kind of see her go off and die, and you're like, okay, like in my mind, I was sort of like, finally.
Yeah, there was just so much going on at that time. Otherwise,
and I think it was one of those things where I was like, if she doesn't die in this film, I'm going to be really confused.
Right.
She has to.
Yeah.
In part because the actress is gone. Carrie Fisher is gone. So why do you keep trying to keep the part alive?
Yeah.
And so Leia dies, and I was sort of like, all right, okay, it happened. There we go.
Yeah.
And then Chewie finds out about it. And that's when I was like, oh, Leia's dead. Oh my gosh. That actor's portrayal of Chewie's reaction is spot on. And it makes you feel for the moment.
Right.
I'm having deja vu, by the way.
Yeah. But another crazy Chewbacca scene is this scene where Rey and Kylo Ren are like using the Force to try and like pull a ship back and forth. And Rey gets to this point where she's frustrated and she launches Force lightning and blows up the ship that Chewbacca is on.
And you're like, what?
I was gonna freak out.
I know. You got really intense. I think you did one of your like big fake turns to me like what? And I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know. And
yeah. But thankfully you find out later, not the ship he's on.
It's okay.
It's okay. Chewbacca survives.
Spoiler.
Yeah, they did a couple of these like fake out deaths. The first one was with Chewbacca, which was like really like you thought he was dead. You didn't see him for a while.
Absolutely. Like you go through 2 or 3 scenes where you're just like, what the buckets?
Yeah. They did the same thing with C-3PO. We talked about this in our trailer review. Basically what they have to do.
And then you're also like, no, there's no way.
Yeah. Basically what they have to do is they have to wipe his memory so that he can do something special. And essentially he then resets to factory default. And so he
doesn't know anybody.
And he has all these great jokes. Like he's probably the funniest character.
He is because he's gotten to a point where he doesn't take himself as seriously anymore. So he doesn't take anybody else as seriously, which you're sort of like, yeah, that happens with
old age. Yeah.
Like I think about my grandparents and like, they knew when to be serious, but they also knew that they could totally mess with people or like poke at people and it was fine.
Yeah.
And we should all just laugh. And that's kind of where C-3PO is at. Where he's like, man, I'm going to say this because I can. And then he gets wiped back to factory default, and you're like, oh, not this guy. It's sort of like you're back to episode 4 where you're like, shut up.
Yeah, but he's making all these jokes because he doesn't know anybody
Yeah.
anymore, and he's just like, he's reintroducing
Yeah.
himself to R2D2, and like,
Yeah.
it's just some great
There's
stuff.
some good stuff there.
But again, they fake you out, and basically R2 re-uploads all of his memories
Right.
to him.
Which I guess I didn't see that as a fake out. You were really worried about it, but I was sort of like, even after he claims that he doesn't let R2 do this, I'm like, he does not know what R2 does
Yeah.
when he is in sleep mode. Like, that R2's like, haha, look at what I'm doing over here, and like
Right.
tinkering with his brain.
Yeah. So definitely a lot of nice nods to the old
Mhm.
characters. I thought, with the treatment of some of the characters in Force Awakens and in Last Jedi, I thought they kind of got crapped on a little bit,
Yeah,
especially Luke.
Yeah.
But I thought this movie really treated them all well.
Yes, everyone.
Yeah. I was disappointed by a few people that we were missing. We didn't get to see Yoda in this movie, which
Yeah.
I mean, we saw
There's
him in
a lot
Last
of
Jedi.
and you even made the point that there's a lot of voiceovers that happen.
True.
So it's sort of like they are there, you just don't see them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I thought we could have seen, it would have been nice. So there's a guy on YouTube, Star Wars Theory. He did like a how I wish it would have ended thing. And his idea was basically to have all the actual Force ghosts of everybody be there with Rey in her final fight against Palpatine, which I agree would have been super cool.
Would it have been too Harry Potter though?
I mean, maybe, but it would have been cool.
It could have been cool to bring everyone back for the fan service of like seeing everyone again, and like
it probably would have
a big moment,
brought a lot of the fandom together. You bring in like Mace Windu and Yoda and like some of and Anakin, like young Anakin for the prequel fans.
How young though? Because
like Hayden Christensen's current age. But and then you have like Luke and Obi-Wan. Like maybe you CGI in Alec Guinness instead of Ewan McGregor.
Although I feel like Ewan McGregor,
he probably looks like Alec Guinness now.
He's starting to take on that appearance when you see him with
a beard. The Kenobi show is going to be bomb. And it's not even it's like in production right now.
Yeah. Like I think that when they casted him, they kind of did like an aging on his face. And they were like, related. Hey, look.
They are related.
Yeah, you've said that before, but just because people are related doesn't mean they look alike. Okay.
Yeah.
Like
exactly like my dad, so.
Right, but like seriously, at Christmas Eve, I had a person tell me that of course I'm my sister because I was enunciating songs really well. Nothing to do with appearance, just I form my words the same way.
True.
Yeah.
Anyways, any other big moments you want to hit before we just do?
Sure. You ready for me to spoil this?
Yes. Spoil warning.
Rey and Ben don't need to kiss. It's weird. It's so weird for me. And I justified it in my head as like, oh, well, to like have this last moment, they have to. And I'm like, no, they don't. No, it's weird. The tension for me between them has never, like, if anything, it's been like he's been attracted, but she's been like, I find you repulsive because you are dark side. Yeah. And then in the end, I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, I thought it was really unnecessary too.
Weird.
Well, it more felt unearned than anything.
Yes.
That was really the thing, is it just didn't feel like it felt like we got some baby steps to this moment, but not it was not as big of a shock as Rose kissing Finn in The Last Jedi. Just gonna put that out there.
Which is completely skated over in this film. And then in the end, you feel like there was some sort of weird tension between Rey and Poe and Finn. Yeah. And then that's never addressed either. Like it's just sort of like, and they're all friends. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
There's just little moments that I needed cleaned up.
Right.
And they didn't clean it up. And I think in large part because they had to do too much cleanup from The Last Jedi.
Yeah, I think you're right. But as a whole, like I said, really liked it.
Yes.
I
yes.
thought that the story
Absolutely.
as a whole was
I mean,
really
it's-
interesting. I mean,
yeah.
it felt like Star Wars. There were a lot of nice
Yes.
nods to all the fans.
Yeah.
But that was just
Mhm.
us nitpicking
Yeah.
because I mean, we're gonna do our Star Wars
think-
super rankings.
Well, I wonder if we need to do the super rankings as their own show.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I'm looking at this, we've spent 25 minutes talking about a trip to Austin, and now 25 minutes talking about Rise of Skywalker. And I just feel like we're gonna spend another hour just hashing out our super
That's
rankings
true.
because they are so different. We did this earlier and we looked at them and we were like, huh. And I feel like we're gonna have to make that its own show, maybe its own special.
Yeah, I like that. Are we gonna be back tomorrow?
No,
No.
no. Got to take care of the kids at some point in our lives.
Yeah, I guess.
So.
All right, so we'll save the Star Wars super rankings. Do you want to do Mandalorian or do you want to skip Mandalorian?
I
too?
think we should probably put Mandalorian. We'll give people another week
to binge it.
to binge
Now that
Mandalorian.
it's all out.
It is
Season 1.
so good.
It is. We both give it our stamp of approval. It's very good. So definitely watch it. Come back. We will spoil it all and review it.
Sorry,
next time.
I'm looking at how when I do this.
Your thumb looks really stubby. So does mine. What is going on?
Well, my thumb looks really stubby, but it also looks like I have no fingers. Sorry.
All right. So
distracted very easily.
Since we're not doing that, we are still gonna do our New Year's questions.
New Year's questions.
Got to do the New Year's questions.
Old Year's questions.
Yes, and then video exclusive New Year's questions.
Ooh.
All right.
Alrighty.
Tube sock. Where's the love bag?
The love bag, the fancy bag. Some family members will recognize this bag. It gets glitter everywhere. You're welcome if you get gifted with it.
All right. So are we both answering all the questions?
I mean, we can. I didn't write mine that way, but we can. Ooh, it's for
Okay.
you.
Ooh,
it's for you.
So Emily wrote on the purple paper. I wrote on pink paper. Not that you can see the colors. All right. What was the enter a superlative adjective moment of 2019? What's the superlative adjective?
Enter a superlative adjective, and if you can't come up with a superlative adjective, I'm going to be really upset.
What was the? These are supposed to be fun. I was going to say scariest, but let's do.
If it's supposed to be fun, you could say what was the funniest.
True. I wrote a question similar to this.
Did you
so
use the
you
words?
can answer
Did you
mine.
use the word superlative adjective?
No, I did not. All right. So what was the most interesting moment of 2019?
The interestingest.
Yeah, there you go.
Not a word.
All right. Most interesting moment of 2019. Am I just answering since I wrote a similar question?
Yeah. I think that's how we should do it. I think it's like my questions are for you and your questions are for me.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
The most interesting moment of 2019 was. I'm on the spot here, man. I'm sorry.
Suspense is killing me.
Probably. This is the first thing that's coming to mind. When we first moved here. We knew we had a bathroom issue upstairs, and so we got the guys in to come and try and fix it. And all of a sudden, the ceiling started to rain, and
I bought a quality house.
I was taken back to my days in college where we had a Halloween party where the bathrooms upstairs overflowed and it started to rain from the second floor down to the first floor.
Oh, ew.
It wasn't like the toilets backed up. It was like the
Oh.
sinks. Like it was like
Oh.
something in the sinks, like the water just kept running and running and running. And so it was like just raining through a doorway. And that's basically what happened here when we moved in is they were trying to like snake out the pipe, and then it must have cracked or something. There's a giant gash in the pipe. And we just had water coming down everywhere, and it was interesting.
It was interesting.
It took me back.
Did you regret any moment? Well, no, I'm not. No follow-up questions.
No follow-up.
No follow-up.
Too late for that.
All right, pink piece of paper. Ooh, who has had the biggest impact you?
I did not skip a word. Don't make me sound dumb in my question writing.
I think it's just late. My
That's fair.
eyes and my mouth aren't speaking to one another.
That's fair.
Who has had the biggest impact on you this year and why? Oh man,
Making sounds in the microphone.
I'm sorry.
Don't ASMR on this podcast. What are you doing?
I would never. Biggest impact on me.
Mhm.
I have so many people who I look up to. I have a lot of family that I look up to, but the people for some reason coming to mind in 2019 are my two closest coworkers from my last job.
Yeah.
Because they pretty much knew all of last school year that it was going to be my last school year. And they were so incredibly supportive.
Yeah.
And you kind of wonder like, oh, I'm going to tell people I'm not coming back. And like, are they going to withdraw? Are they going to, like not care anymore? They're just going to be like, oh, well, nuts to you then,
Yeah.
and they were not like that at all. They were incredibly supportive and really excited for me. And even after I was basically done working, was on my maternity leave and was just done working because of just how things all fell into place, like trying to stay in contact with me. And that's, I keep thinking to myself like, oh, I need to send emails. I need to text. I need to call and, send little notes just to let them know that I'm still thinking of them. And they've had such an impact on me that there are things that happen at my current job and I actually did this once. I saw a poster up in a chemistry room and like quickly sent an email to my counterpart in the English department at my last job and was just like, so I saw this poster and I was thinking of you, and it just all seemed to fall into place. And of course she immediately wrote back, well, yeah, it's because it's from my favorite author. Like, of course that quote went in. And they've just had such an impact and how supportive and how wonderful and how sweet they are and how I don't know, just how beautiful humanity really is.
It's nice. That's really nice.
Sorry that you weren't the one who said
No,
to
it's
me.
okay. No, and if I was to answer that question, I wouldn't say you either.
Oh, good. I wouldn't say you either. Jeez.
No, I would probably say that it was Jetta. I mean, she was born this year, and then we had that huge health scare. It totally changed the way, I looked at life and the kids, and like,
Yeah.
it upset the whole fruit basket. So that definitely had a huge impact on my year. So sorry, I'm answering my own question.
I know. It's okay.
All right.
Here, I'll just drop pink one really quick.
What was the best and worst moments between you and I in 2019?
It might be a trap.
Oh, this is a trap. It's a trap.
Maybe it's just an elaborate ruse.
Maybe. Okay. I gotta think here. Best and worst moments for the two of us. Oh, you're getting a preview. You're gonna be thinking about stuff.
Well, it's so that we don't spend like another half hour answering questions.
I think that some of the best moments for us were during Jetta's hospital stay, just because we had to lean on each other so much.
Mhm.
We really, I mean, it was really trying. And it was, it was really, really hard because there were moments where, we thought that we might lose her. And so, putting that strain, I mean, losing a child would put an insane amount of strain on a relationship and a marriage. So just to see how we work together during that hard time and build each other up, and then being able to lean on each other. And now that we're past it, and we can kind of look back at that and see how strong it made us.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are some of the best, best moments.
Best moments.
In
In a bad moment.
Yeah. Worst moments between you and I in 2019. Oh gosh.
This is the trap.
Right. See, we fight, and we have disagreements about things.
Yeah, we have
but they're
heated
so
discussions.
short. Yeah, but most of the time they're so short that
sometimes we go into aggressive negotiations.
Star Wars references dropping everywhere. But yeah, I feel like so many of them are so short-lived that I have a hard time remembering them for a long time. I try not to harbor any kind of
ill will.
Yeah. I try to just get past it and be be in love. But if I'm trying to think of like one that I can really remember, I don't think of anything. Do you think can you think of anything that sticks out as like a bad moment for us? We've had a lot of good moments lately, so it's hard to think of bad moments.
Yeah. I feel like during our move, just after we moved, we had some really stressful times where I think we just snapped at each other a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of adjusting.
Yeah, but like you said, like we don't hold on to anything. Like I can't think of anything from a previous argument that I could like bring up now and throw back at you.
Right.
Like we just don't do that.
Yeah, I know
we just don't do that.
I know there have been a couple of nights where like we've been huffy or whatever, and so we've just gone to bed.
Been like, nope, not touching, not talking, just go to bed.
Yeah, but like I can't remember why, and I can't remember,
which I think is the beauty of it.
Yeah.
And I think always the next day it's always been like, yeah, we were upset last night.
Right, like that was dumb.
That was stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sorry, that could have been a lot more controversial, but
I mean, and then when you turn it back on me and I can't give you an answer either, I think that's a pretty good sign.
Yeah.
All right.
My
next one is, what is a story or memory from 2019 you hope to never forget? And I feel like
the morning sun.
I feel like it would have to do with Rory. Something to do with Rory. Just because he's such a ham.
He is.
But I can't. Maybe one of the time could be any of the times that he's fallen and smacked his head, broken it open a couple of times this year. Which are like scary, but it's also like that's how we get Ninja Batman.
Right.
I bet you forgot about Ninja Batman for a little while.
I did until you brought it up. Yeah, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Ninja Batman. Or like yesterday where he, like, I was like, I love you, and he was just like, I love you too, Mom. And I was like, whoa, let's get that on record. He said it. He loves me. Anyway, those moments. But he's just such a little ham. Anytime that he's coming back up the aisle from church from giving his offering, and he just like gets this glint in his eye, like, yeah, I see you, Mom and Dad. I'm gonna run to the back of the church now. He's just at a really cool point in his life where he's just like, he's clever and he's funny, and yet he is so 2.5. I don't know. I feel like this is something where you like had something in your mind.
No, I was trying to think of one for me too.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there have been a lot of like standout moments, and I've tried to capture them like in pictures or in words.
Yes. I've got one. Do you remember the time? I mean, I know you do, but when was it Rory acted up in church during a baptism, and so you took him out, or you took Mariana out or something? And then Rory had to go with you, and I had Jenna in my hands, and Danny's just like coloring, and I gave her to a random lady. And then the best part was that, like, the next week or so, we met the woman who took her for me. And she was like, or no, it was
Somebody sitting.
it was the person sitting in front or behind me at that time. She
Yeah.
was like, I was about to offer, and then the other woman offered, and she was like, but she was telling the story as like this random family that she didn't know who it was, and she was telling the story about this poor mom who is trying to deal with all too
Yes.
many kids, and she was like, and I was about to offer to take the baby when another woman offered, and Heather was just like
That-
me.
Yes.
That I think probably one of the best moments of
Yes,
this year.
that
And it
was.
just, I feel like it just kind of sums up our family sometimes. We just need an extra set of hands.
So true. All right. I think this is my last one.
Your last
If
one.
you had a moment from 2019 you most regret, what would it be? Oh, that's a
I took like kind of the opposite spin.
yeah. So there have definitely been times where I regretted like, the move or the way that we did some of the move or like, like when it started raining in the house, was this the right house?
Oh God.
Yeah, there were a lot of like little moments. But I think that the one thing that I would say that I could most regret would be, and it's like a yes and no,
Mm,
like now knowing what I know now, I wish I would have started working sooner,
yeah.
just because of the way things have gotten for the family and now that we've kind of settled in here and we know what we need
What
to
we
do.
need. Mhm.
But I didn't know that when we first got here, so there's no way that I could have changed it at the time.
Right.
But now looking back on it, I kind of wish that I would have at least started looking earlier and then started working sooner. But that'll start in about a week. So
Yeah. You'll be
going.
fine. Yeah. All right. So the last question you're giving me.
Yes.
If you could go back in time, what would you tell younger you about 2019?
Oh, I'm glad you got this one last.
Yeah, it's good. I think we both kind of got things in a good order.
Yeah.
What I would tell younger me, you will do it. Not that I can do it, but you will do it. You will come out on the other side.
Yeah.
And it will be fine. And maybe that's something like I need to live by in 2020 and 2021 as well, just
Right.
in the, you will do it. Everything will work out. You're going to go through moments where you feel like falling down or sitting in a corner and crying or
Right.
even just like maybe I'm going to go out, get in the car and just drive away.
Yeah.
And I think it's that I can't leave it as an option that, oh, well, like you can, you could get through this. Just like you will,
Yeah.
you will do it. Because there were definitely times, like you said, in 2019 where we were challenged and just having heard future me say, you'll come out of this and it will be fine.
Yeah.
Would have given me a little boost of like, okay, bring it on.
Yeah. Nice. I like that. That's good.
Thanks.
I feel like we have to paint that in the house somewhere now.
You will do it.
You will do it.
It also sounds like
You will do
it also sounds like a command to our kids. You will do it.
Oh man.
I don't want it. You will.
Too bad. Yeah. I would say this has definitely been our hardest year. This has been the most life-changing year for us. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
All right, now
Okay.
video exclusive. Looking forward to 2020. You want to ask your question first, or where did it go?
Where did I put it?
Mine's in here.
Oh, I need to write mine down. Ready?
Yes.
It's really boring.
That's okay.
It's super boring.
Hit me, tube
It's
sock.
incredibly typical.
Okay.
What is one New Year's resolution you're going to attempt for 2020?
I was going to ask you if you were planning on making a resolution.
No.
Let's see. Resolution for 2020. What am I going to attempt? I I think this year I would like to get a lot of things back on track. We talked a few months back about kind of this date schedule, night schedule that we
That's
had.
been completely derailed.
It has been, and I would like to get that back on track. And going along with that is like the Bible study that we were doing, kind of exercising together, taking time out just for the two of us to kind of date
within our own house.
Yeah. I think that would really be one thing that I want most, just because I think that overall it provides so much benefit, physically, emotionally, relationshipally, not a word, grammatically, and spiritually, and it just, I think
you already said that.
Yeah, I just think it has a lot of benefit.
It does.
So I think that would be one thing that I would definitely want to do. And then to also adopt the attitude of like,
I got really scared.
Too.
No. You said the word adoption. I was like, no more animals, no more kids.
Adopt the attitude.
The attitude.
That,
okay, good.
That I have to do what I have to do for our family, right? And that we just have to push through and get through the struggle,
right?
And make it work. And then at the end of 2020, just we'll be able to tell us right now today that we will do it.
You will do it.
We will get through 2020.
We will do it.
We will do it.
We'll do it.
So those are my resolutions for 2020.
Nice. Awesome. All right.
Okay. My question.
Yeah.
This is my question. Will you be pregnant in 2020?
That is such a loaded question. And the last time I was asked a question like that,
you answered too assuredly.
I was super assured, and I was like, no, not gonna happen. And I was actually pregnant in that moment, and I just didn't know it.
Yet. Yeah.
So do you really want to ask me that question? I mean, here, when people like to ask, because we're so young and we have 4 kids, and people who don't know us very well, like to ask, are you hoping to have more? And I always answer with, God has blessed us very much. And he always knows exactly how much we can handle.
Yeah.
And if he plans to continue blessing us, there's not a whole lot I can do to change that. But right now, please stop blessing me. And they always giggle like that, but that's very much how I see it. Every single one of our kids is a blessing from above. And I think we felt that the most this past year. It really was brought home to us this year that all of our children are blessings, and taking care of them and keeping them safe and healthy is an important job.
Yeah.
And yet at the same time, I'm at a point where I'm at a Mother Teresa moment,
Yeah.
I know God won't give me anything more than I can handle. I just wish he wouldn't trust me so much.
Right.
So, I don't know. That's the best answer I can give you. I can tell you what I think should be, but it doesn't mean that God will agree with me.
Right. So we'll just have to wait and see. All right. You good?
I'm good.
Good for 2019?
Yeah, I guess wrap it up.
Yeah,
put
the fireworks
a bow on
off.
it. Yeah. Tell people in the neighborhood to quit setting off fireworks. They're freaking me out. My kitchen's clean, and I have a hot loaf of bread waiting to be pulled out of the pan. So I feel like 2020 is off to a good start.
Awesome. All right. Well, that's all we've got for you this year. We are going to be back hopefully next week.
Yes.
With a regular show. Like we've
And
said, I do start working here in the next couple of weeks, so it may throw things off. I have to
Yep.
do an extended training
Yep.
away from home.
So we will see how that all falls into place in terms of podcasting.
Yep.
But stay tuned.
Yes, we will keep you guys posted either via Instagram or Facebook. So definitely be watching out there. Thank you to everybody who joined us on the live stream. We've had some consistent viewers for, I mean, we've been going for over an hour now. So thank you so much for those of you who hung out with us. Thank you for your comments. Happy New Year to Audrey 98 and question mark to Optimistically Cynical. But
Yeah.
thank you guys so much. Thank you for enduring our Star Wars ranting and raving. There will be more of it in the future.
Oh yeah.
So if you like that, definitely let us know because we are excited to talk about our super rankings and the Mandalorian in the next couple of weeks.
Yes.
So, all right.
All right. We will see you next year.
Oh.